Salute to everybody tuning in. I appreciate it. Salute to all the subscribers, all the Patreon members, all the new viewers. I want to thank you guys for your support. It really means a lot to me. Please hit that like button, share this video. Check out the links in the description box below for the Patreon page and the Facebook page. Let's get into it. So there was a shootout the other day in Pattaya. All right, not on Walking Street. It was in a district called Nang Pru. All right, so this article right here, let me show you where this is located on the map. For those that haven't been to Pattaya before, this is the main strip right here, Walking Street. As you can see, 4.3 out of 5 stars, 46,000 people have either liked it or they've commented on this area right here. This is the strip right here, Walking Street. Okay, and what's that mall? Terminal 21, Pattaya. This is over here. So the mall is over here. Walking Street is right here. Mainly a lot of people hang out in this area right here, mainly in Walking Street. Nang Pru, they're saying it's over here. There's a Nang Pru right here. So I'm not sure exactly where it was located at, but it was either right here or over here. All right. But it did not happen on Walking Street. This could be it. This might be it. I'm not sure. But anyways, you get my drift. It didn't happen right on Walking Street. It happened not too far. All right. It was in Pattaya. Pattaya is a very busy town, city in Thailand. All right. A lot of people that are flying to Bangkok because Pattaya doesn't have an airport. They'll take a cab over to Pattaya. I think it takes about an hour and a half to get over there by cab. Probably less, 45 minutes. It's been a while. I've only taken a bus. I've never taken a cab over there. So I think it was about an hour and a half to get over there by bus. Now by cab, it might be 45 minutes. So tourists panic as teenagers fight and shoot at each other at a crowded restaurant in Pattaya. I want you to pay attention. They said they were teenagers. Tourists panicked. So the tourists were panicking as teenagers fight. Pay attention to that. So around about October 30th, 4:06 in the morning. So that's when things have either cleared out or they were clearing out. Police station received a report of a shooting incident in front of the Mu Krata Baikap Din. I can't even pronounce this. On Petchtrukul Road. As a matter of fact, let's look at that on the map right there. Where is that? Where's this road right here? I want to Google it. I can't find it. Let me not waste time. The report was promptly relayed to this guy right here, chief of the Pattaya City Police Station, who led a team patrol and investigation officers to the scene. So this was the scene right here. All right. Upon arrival, officers found tourists, bus operators, and local residents in a state of panic. The scene shows signs of a fight, including a damaged motorcycle, scattered belongings, and blood on the ground. Both parties involved had fled in separate directions before the police arrived. Eyewitness Mr. Amnue, 65 years old, reported seeing a gunman approach alone and shoot at the injured group, believed to be foreigners. So I'm reported seeing a gunman approach alone and shooting at the injured group. I guess the group were foreigners or the gunman was, I don't know. But remember, they said teenagers were shooting it out. The injured individual fell to the ground before being quickly taken away by friends in a black Alfred van, whose license plate numbers remains unknown. The gunman had already fled the scene. Initial investigation suggests the altercation may have stemmed from a dispute after leaving an entertainment venue. Some witnesses indicate that the injured person and the perpetrator were part of the same group. Likely ties, who argued and then engaged in a fist fight before the gunshot was fired. The incident caused locals and tourists to flee in terror. This is a developing story and still under investigation. So I'm assuming earlier when I showed you on the map that that Nang Pru location was right down the street from Walking Street. All right. So that's the end of the article right here. This is what I want to tell you. When you go to Thailand, remember, I was starting to make a video talking about the dangers of traveling to Thailand. All right. I think I still need to make that. You need to understand that guns are legal in Thailand. People do have guns. They're legally allowed to have guns. Now, they're not just openly sold to just anybody in Thailand, but people can apply for a weapon and buy a firearm if they're approved by the government in Thailand. All right. Now, a teenager, they're not supposed to have them. Of course, they're not going to make it legal for a teenager. But remember, in the beginning, they said that the eyewitness who was 65 years old, said that more than likely they were foreigners. Then later on, it says ties. I didn't read the entire article up until now, but before I started recording this video, I read the part where he said they were likely foreigners. I'm like, bullshit. All right. First of all, teenagers, where are foreign teenagers? Teenagers don't just travel to Thailand by themselves. All right. Teenagers, you're talking about the elder. When you look at somebody as a teenager, in your mind, you're thinking between 14 and 17. You don't necessarily look at somebody 19 and say, hey, that's a teenager right there. You don't know. There's some people that look young enough to be 14, 15 if they're 19, right? But you would assume that they're young enough to be in high school. 19 to 20, and if somebody looks 20, then they're probably 20 in your eyes. They're probably in their 20s, not their teens. So they look young enough to you to be a teenager. Why would you think that teenagers would travel to Thailand by themselves or with their families, right, in a group? Is somebody be able to travel to Thailand and be able to cop a gun on the street and start busting at somebody, right? So I thought that was weird, but I put that in the title because I think I need to change it. The media didn't really blame foreigners, but it was put in the article. So I just wrote media blames foreigners. They actually wrote that in the article. And that's something that a lot of people like doing over in Thailand. When everything goes bad or wrong, especially in Asia, you know, sometimes people, they want to point to the foreigners first, especially when it's gun violence. Something like gun violence. Look, so they took a statement from somebody and he immediately said, hey, it must have been it must have been foreigners shooting, right? But there are guns in the country. Foreigners didn't bring that in. You brought that in, or you allowed that to enter into the country. All right. There have been several shootouts when I was living in Thailand. For those that don't know, my name is Splashway Beats. I've been living or traveling abroad for the last 15 years. I lived in Thailand on and off for 8 years. All right. People do have guns over there. I remember one time, this girl that I knew, I said, I mentioned something about, well, it's illegal to have guns in Thailand. She was like, no, it ain't. Like, Thais, they can buy guns. I'm like, for real? She was like, yeah. There have been several incidents of shootouts in Thailand. And in many cases, when I see shootouts happening in the article, it usually happens in busy tourist districts, touristy areas. So I remember there was a shootout when I was living there, right between Scion Paragon and Central World. For those that don't know, those are the two biggest, most popular malls in the city. Like that's a very, very busy. That's the busiest area in Bangkok. All right, the busiest area in Bangkok. Like it's always crowded and packed over there. There was a shootout on the bus stop in between the malls, and I'm like, for there to be a shootout right there, thousands of people had to been witnesses of that. And it was two Thai gangs shooting at each other. They missed, ended up killing two East Indian guys sitting at the bus stop. That's how crowded it was, right? And I remember that. I was there. There was another time when, remember that story I did when I was, for those that have been around long enough, there's a foreigner, I think he's French or he's from Europe somewhere, and his company sells meat to all the restaurants and malls in the Bangkok area. You're talking about like any restaurant, upscale restaurant, they would get their meat from him. And him and his wife had like a shootout with some other foreigner, and the dude ended up getting killed. Right. So there's always been shootouts, bombs, shootings, you name it, in Thailand. Right. So I remember 2 years ago, you guys could look this up. 2 years ago, there was a mass shooting at like a daycare. A guy just walked in, started shooting up a daycare center, unalived a bunch of kids up in there. I'm like, wow, man, like this is evil, right? People look at that as like, hey, that's a Western thing. No, you know, this has happened when that happened when I was living there in Thailand 2 years ago. It's been 2 years since I've been back home, right? So this shootings, I'm not gonna say it's common, but it does happen in Thailand. It can happen. Most of the time, it happens in the major, busy tourist district areas. All right. This happened in Pattaya, down the street from Walking Street. Um, if you look at this picture right here, the top picture, like that's normal. I'm not saying this, I'm talking about this setup, right? This marketplace setup. It's not a marketplace. Basically, it's like I don't know the term. It's like a hawker station hangout. There's a bunch of those in Thailand. That's why Thailand is one of the dopest places to hang out at, especially in like the night train markets, places like this where they have like a bunch of tables set up. They have these little hawker station restaurants. They might have like a huge screen. I know the camera isn't all the way in there, but there might be like a huge screen right here, and they're probably playing music videos or a soccer game. I remember the night train market that used to be literally right across the street from me on Hue Quang in Bangkok. Um, man, like it was. I need to do a video showing you guys what that was like back in the days. They would have like these little clubs, but they look like they were um not so much shipping containers, kind of small. They were just like little small shacks that they would build with sliding doors. And they had an outside area, inside area. They were playing music on the inside, music, tables, food, menus. And they had a bunch of them like stacked next to each other, right? They were all playing different music. Some spots had DJs. Couldn't fit too many people in there, but it was dope, right? So you're in an environment. It's It's a friendly environment. Everybody's hanging out with their friends. They love just hanging out all the time, right? Always packed. It'd be groups of 20 hanging out, foreigners hanging out, right? So your guard is down, you're a little bit inebriated, you're drinking, you're eating, listening to music, talking to people. Um, you're with a group. There have been many times, especially if y'all don't know, I went to school in Thailand. I mean, I'm hanging out like 10, 15, 20 deep with people from my classroom in an environment just like this, and bam, they start dumping. And so I guess it was raining. Looked like it might have been raining earlier that day. This can happen. All right. And it was more personal. Didn't seem like innocent bystanders got hit. Whoever it was, they hit their intended target. I don't believe it was foreigners. All right. I think it was Thais, teenagers, right? Too young to really have a gun. Just angry is probably over a girl. If they got drunk, it was probably over a girl. Shot at his so-called friend for stepping to his girl, and they drove off. That's what I think happened. I don't know the details of the story, but mad about something. Shot him up, shot, the motorcycles, the motorbikes up. And I just want to say this, man. Be careful when you go to Thailand. I know a lot of people, they love going to Thailand. My cousin is in Thailand right now. Right. I never thought that I would ever see the day when he would go over there. I wish he'd have been there when I was living there. I could have introduced him to some people, shown him like the real city of Bangkok and Pattaya. He's going the touristy route. It's dope. He took some dope pictures. My cousin's there right now. Right. People love going to Thailand. Thailand, the reason why a lot of people like going there, they like living there because of the lifestyle. People take a pay cut just to live in Thailand, making $1,100 a day, $1,500 a day. No, excuse me, not $1,100 a day, a month, right? $1,100 a month, maybe $1,500 a month, right? People are willing to take a pay cut to just live the life and the lifestyle of being in Thailand. Understand there is a criminal element to living over there. Violence does occur, not so much as at the same rate as America, which America isn't even the highest globally. It's like 6 murders per 100,000 per capita. But there is a criminal element to Thailand. People do have guns. I remember when I was living there 2 years ago, man, two motorbike taxi drivers, because they have like these motorbikes. There are taxis that ride around on motorbikes and pick up people and drop people off from where they need to go for a really cheap price. I remember 2 motorbike taxi drivers, they were beefing and it was on video. The motorbike taxi driver, you can see them with the orange vest, pulls out a gun, shoots the other one right in the chest, laid him out in front of everybody, broad daylight, had a gun. All right, so guns are present in Thailand. All right. Thailand is one of those places where like it could go down wherever, not at a rate as a high crime, high violent crime ridden city in America, in a bad neighborhood in America, right? But do not let your guard down when you go to Thailand. All right. You got to watch these cars, you got to watch these cops, you got to watch people pretending to be cops, right? You got to watch these scamming taxi drivers, these scamming motorbike taxi drivers. See, they was watching the soccer game right here. You got to watch out for people trying to scam you, people serving the food that you're eating. You got to double and triple check the food, right? You got to be careful when you go to Thailand. I really need to make this video. Maybe what's today? Thursday, maybe Sunday or Monday. Yeah, maybe Monday night I need to do a live stream breaking down the dangers in, living in Thailand, what to look out for. I need to set aside and make a live stream dedicated to the dangers of living in Thailand. All right, because you could be over here and then a big old monitor lizard would run will run in between tables out of nowhere. And I've never seen a monitor lizard attack anybody. I've seen them eat cats, right? But you never know. It's raining, right? You get on your motorbike, you drive off, you see a big old snake in the middle of the road. It's for suicidal foreigners. You see a house on fire. It's a foreigner outside mad that his Thai wife took the kid, emptied out his bank account, and moved into the middle of nowhere, right? And he's upset, suicidal, wants to burn down his house and kill himself. I've seen that happen in Pattaya several times, right? So I need to make that live stream, maybe Monday or next week sometime. All right, you guys be safe. I need to go work out. 30 minutes on elliptical, 30 minutes on jump rope. All right. You guys be safe. I might do another live stream later on tonight, this evening. But I am going to watch the Spurs game first. So it might be like midnight. So if you're up at midnight, I might do another live stream. You guys take care. Peace.